record on the laptop, on your computer, right?
Right, it's in recording, yeah, right?
Okay, it's
Yeah.
6:57.
Yes, sir. And then when you click
Your internet is so well.
your option. Yeah, well, you hear me any better now?
I hear you, but
I know what to do. That is the best
so
of flow.
there's nothing you can do.
No. You could bad talk flow if you want.
Once you start a broadcast, once I start a broadcast and take camera off and on her end and audio, you should get the band back by you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I take off my video and go audio. People will see you.
No, that makes sense. Because we're recording the
I
video
don't
to upload on
understand
YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So
6:58. 6:58. And you see, I using my laptop. You hear my jaws talking. Eh?
what the hell to do?
You hear my jaws talking?
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, but you got set mine to
You're not-
directional mic.
That is the
Laptop,
the
well,
microphone.
Zoom setting. Yeah, in Zoom setting.
Yeah, that good. So you could use your jaws and nobody
Yeah,
hear it.
like Rahul Moon, they see everything. I don't know if it already set it, but this on my own as well.
But that is in your Zoom settings, you do that?
If it's Zoom setting, computer comes soon apart, no? But
It's
my
6:59.
All right. So when you click Go Live, we have to accept it on the end, right, Ken?
you are accepted, right? Not me.
Both of us you will see come up.
Okay,
So
so click it
accept.
now.
Yeah, let's give you a countdown.
We are
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's loaded.
All right. You can mic.
Okay.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live on the intro. Surati on the inside.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Hope people log in. Last week we had a kind of no show, but this time we're making up for the no show.
That's the rules when technology failure.
Yeah.
You know, and tonight it looked as though I'm doing a disclaimer one time. Tonight it looked as though we're having some internet challenges, but we're running it live on the page and Zoom. We're trying the Zoom for the first time. So if any in progress. Ken?
Yeah, I'm here, but you're breaking up slightly, but we'll work it over here.
Oh, okay. All right. So I hope it improves over the session. So Ken, tonight the live is about the 101 proposal, but before that, any other interesting things happened for the last week or so?
Nothing major. I mean, except this 101 for 8 years, you know. Outside of that, don't think anything major.
Well, one of the things we were supposed to talk about last weekend and we didn't get a chance to do was the 108th anniversary of Work for the Blind in the Caribbean region.
Right.
And by extension, the celebration of the Blind Welfare Association's anniversary. Because as people will be, I don't know if they're aware, but Work for the Blind started with the then called Institute for the Blind, which then was called the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association. So in real sense, we celebrated as 108 years of existence, not so?
Yeah, and you know, I hear another organization, you know, they say they're celebrating Founders Day, but you know, they will not even mention blind welfare name. And I find we nothing wrong, you might have disagreement, but I feel you must, if you're just celebrating history, call it as is.
Yeah, you're celebrating Founders Day.
Yes.
But only the Blind Welfare Association could claim the 108 years of existence.
Right, but if any organization, I mean, of the Caribbean, they just mention blind welfare. But what I'm saying,
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
own country, a similar organization, you know, I don't want to call name, but they wouldn't mention blind welfare name. Like if it's a paria, how they call it, you know, but like they can't say the word in the mouth. But history is history.
History is
Yeah.
history. That is the thing about history. The nice thing history, you can't change it.
You can't change it.
You can't change it. That's what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. So and if you have a problem, you go and make your own history.
Well, so probably they created history with that, with them kind of statements now.
Yeah, you know.
Who knows? But that was one of the big things I think in our community, concerning the blind community. We were established on the 18th of May 1914 by Mr. James Alves. And since then to now, I mean, we have done a lot. We even if you don't want to talk about Blind Welfare Association, you know, in 1947, 13th of June 1947, you know, we were established by an act of parliament, or we were incorporated by an act of parliament.
Yes. Yeah.
So
this
year will be 75 years, the oldest organization for the blind.
You know, we look at, say, people raise the issue about Indian Arrival Day. And when most of the time you're talking about what they do and what boat they came in. You know, this year, I mean, we wanted to focus on, yes, we appreciate the history, but we also like to present where we are and where we want to be. Because once we can identify where we want to be, say probably next 3 or 5 years, then we can come up with that with a strategy how to achieve that. So when you start to talk about it now, in the future now, you will remember the discussion you had around this time, what you wanted to do and what you want, you know, where you want to be, because the world is evolving. There's nothing you can do about the past. My accountant always tells me, money spent is money spent. You can talk about it, you can say, I should do this, I should, I could, I would, however. But there's nothing you can do with the past. I mean, you appreciate it, you understand your mistakes, however, but you move on. And we want to focus, you know, if we could train out where we want to see ourselves. And even with the radio program this afternoon, we were talking heavily where we want to be and how we want to be part of the evolving universe or the evolving world. You know, we don't want to be in a silo then. We want to be part of the whole development, because the new blind person we're talking about, first of all, how to socialize is totally different, probably in my time. They socialize with their family, they social because they were never in an institution. They socialize with friends in school. Like Kern always tell me, say, a child who's blind might go to a secondary school and might do well at all. But that experience, they can never, ever match it with anything else. He said that is a special.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right. Can you know I never attended institution? You knew that. Everybody knows that. If you want to know about me, I never. The first time I went to the school for the blind was when I went there to work. And I had to go there the day before.
I almost certain your father probably knew about the school for blind, but he chose not to.
No, but my mother told me when we were small, I was living in El Socorro, Kenneth. A stone throw away from Santa Cruz.
Exactly.
Less than 15, 20
you could have gone every day then. They call it this way.
I can go, yes. And when my mother and father, when they see that, they say, nah, this is not for him. And they kept me home in the normal school system. Yeah. I went to Don Miguel Hindu School. I used to walk to school. Then I went to Bartara Junior Sec, then to Shagwana Senior Comprehensive. I went all the way, I went open education, open quote unquote normal school. And I mean, I could testify to the experience Kern talking about, and I could compare it with what I have seen and been a part of with other persons who went through this institute system.
Yeah, the institute where you say went primary school and then went secondary school. And I tell you, institution is a dangerous thing, but and you made a point, all these children we're talking about, they just did a research, a second research, the Sabga and the Jones report. But you used to make a point, if everybody in Trinidad take one child that is unfortunate, let me put it that way, it wouldn't have enough trend for the family.
No.
And you wouldn't have no institutional problem, but shame
those who afford. Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Because our culture don't promote that kind.
Even the law,
our society
doesn't permit the culture, the law doesn't permit it.
Well, the law is an extension of our culture and our socio socializing and our behaviors.
Yeah.
So if our culture don't promote it, they would never draft a law against the culture. They would
Well,
never
Larry,
draft a law saying make it
you might
easy.
say that, but years ago, I remember like my grandmother, I mean, people used to just come in and live there. So I never hear nobody start coming to say, my cousin who will get a little trouble, who one thing.
Yeah, but you ever hear any one of them say they want to adopt that?
No, no.
Legally? No, because the culture don't promote legal adoption.
Yeah.
Our culture don't. There's a shame. If a woman can't make a child or a couple can't get pregnant.
Call them mule and all kind of thing. Don't we evil, no?
And the laws will support behavior.
So I think we want to make a statement. This is pertaining to institution. Every effort should be made to avoid institution as much as possible.
And that is the future.
Yeah.
In the past, we had the institution, we had the housing, the homes, and so on. Going forward, the children, we find children should stay within their family network.
Yeah.
Let the support be there.
Let the community be a part of the community.
Exactly. And nowadays, young people can. The parents of today do not want their children in institutions.
Exactly.
When long ago it was a phobia, or was it phobia the correct word? It was a kind of shame or embarrassment to have a child with a disability. Today, it's a sense of pride and enjoyment to say, this is my child.
But
I have no problem with this child.
I look back, I don't know if they didn't advise my parents to go to an institution, I would have preferred that, because my mother said when she dropped me in Santa Cruz, she had to run away and cry going in taxi, you know.
And she was one of many who did that.
Imagine you can't tell your child you're leaving.
No, you run away. Mr. Ragu told me he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
He was 5 years old, and he remember like yesterday. Mr. Ragu retired from Blind Welfare now. Yeah. And he told me he remember yesterday.
Yeah.
He parents was cooking and things like a Scotia and 2-3 car going up the road.
Yeah.
And when he went there, he met this nice, lovely lady. A really, really nice lady, and she was so friendly, and she came and showed him a car. He come from the bush, so he see a toy car, and he driving toy car whole day. Imagine his parents leave him at the age of 5, Kenneth.
Yeah.
When he catches his place getting dark, he say, "Oh, mommy, they say they'll come back for you. Come and show you where you're sleeping now." And that was his transition at 5. Gabriel is 7. And those who watching children from a certain age, you could imagine carrying a child and leaving them. See him playing and thing, and they're telling, don't worry, he'll enjoy himself. Look how he's playing, nice, and look how happy he is, and you leaving it. And when that child catches himself, that child realizes, nah, my parents leave me here. Nobody cares for me.
Yeah, but you are the reverse, you know. Gabriel will allow you to leave him.
No, you're sure right.
that is the reverse.
Yeah, because if I go anywhere, Gabriel and leave me at all, you start with. No matter what nice thing come his way, he stand up right there. Until I just tell him go. You could go and play them, and he said, nah, good. He feel his duty to look out for me.
Yeah.
You know? But we talk about institution, we talk about the association last week anniversary.
I mean, we're not
all this is history.
That is our past.
No, that is our history.
And we appreciate it. We appreciate for what it is. It was done. And you know, it had the school, it had the home for the men, it had the home for the women, it had different homes then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
and the thing about it, Ken,
history. Yeah.
That is what made us who we are. That's why we could talk about it now. That's why we could compare the now.
Yeah.
And the comparison to be drawn, and society has changed. And it going back now to the conversation of the 101, because in those days, the association were not 100% funded, Kenneth. We had, I think, there was a certain amount of sales must be made, you know, to cover the budget of the association. Yeah. And when that was not done, people would not be getting their full pay. They will get some pay.
But in those days, we didn't have no established position in the early days of incorporation. It had like treasurer and you know, that only came 70s or something. I mean, I'm not sure, but only when you get RMU and PSC and all, you know, and you start to get established position. I mean, we're trying to follow up with CP office, and they themselves don't understand when these things start. Lakan. Oh, you can
Yes, I hear you.
Right. Very good, yeah. You know, so I mean, we fortunate in the center organization, we how we structure with the states, where we are probably one of 3 organizations in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't think they'll ever have, the government would never ever do this for no other organization again. And I also thank God to the British
I don't
how they structure us.
because I think they went now and they created the Companies Act and the different
And PO Act and all
acts to
kind of thing. Yeah.
govern organization.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think people, because it's not just the Flying Institute or the Karen and Pedro, Lady Choi and no, sorry,
Princess Elizabeth,
Princess Elizabeth. I think we had like religious organizations were incorporated
but not in the context
under
like
the
Bible,
laws.
which is
So the Mahasabha.
yeah.
No. We were more social / educational.
Yeah.
That's what we were.
Even how our
You know,
ordinance is structured, it wide ranging, and I mean, I really compliment. I mean, I saw the other 2 organizations make an amendment to the ordinance. I personally believe we are very happy with our ordinance because the people who wrote it, they write it properly. And I believe if you have to change anything, you must be better off. You mustn't be equal or worse off.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not seeing any
Most
room there for us to be
definitely.
better off. I mean, I could be wrong.
And-
Right? There might people brighter than me might say, no, boy, we can do this.
But that is the conversation for the future going forward is we talk about inclusion, accessibility, and sustainability.
Yeah, you know,
Our
those are our
conversation
pillars
is exactly. So we last week Thursday as well, Ken, the world celebrated, and we had a whole nice webinar on that. Global Accessibility Awareness Day, which speaks about digital accessibility. And I mean, we will dedicate an entire program of the intro to speak about the inaccessibility of digital mediums. Is it word? Digital mediums, website,
digital platform. That
digital
inaccessible.
platforms.
Yeah, it is inaccessible.
And I mean, I am going to do the research and show you all how we spend our money and we do have access to things. But that is not for tonight's show.
Yeah.
That's for another day. But accessibility is an important thing. And last week we talked about, I mean, that whole thing, I don't go back into that because I don't think is we have the link we can share. People can watch that link, but we had a whole big discussion on that accessibility issue. But it is part of the future, it's part of what we're looking for the next 100 years. And young people can, and today in the radio program, we made mention, the young people today, they want to be part of a diverse society, a diverse.
They want to be part of some. They want to be part of
diverse community, and not isolated. So we hoping. We've seen they're talking about salary increases, and we name the program today 101, right?
Yeah.
1%, 0.1%. And I said
1% for the first 5 years. Well, 0, 0, 0, 4 times and 1. And then 0, 0, 1 for 8 years. Somebody claimed that they are amending the collective agreement, but in the act itself, a collective agreement minimum 3 years or maximum 5 years.
Oh.
And that
is how they found with the first 5
and 3.
Yeah.
The law permits it then. But some persons were saying, I don't want to accuse, I don't want to come across like people saying government or trade union, but in the sense that is in 81 or something chapter section so and so 81 or something in the act itself. It speaks to that 5 years maximum, 3 years minimum for a collective agreement.
I would have liked to hear. I mean, this is where for the how you term this type of negotiation, the financial aspect, the salary.
Remember, this is more than financial. This is financial. This is social. This is market forces. And I like to make it simple. Like you say at home. If a home getting the same amount of money income, no matter that way working, parents working for, how could you give a child an increase in allowance to go to school?
Exactly.
And so my thing, I don't mind. I don't think about if it's 5%, 10, it could be 100%. My thing will be, we need to earn it, then to distribute it. And how,
Look at what the government saying, and not Kenneth. We just don't have it. And we get a little increase, so we couldn't give so much. We can't give what you want. I think that
but my concern with the government, sometimes they'll say that and say the election bell rings and they believe they're going to lose election. They prefer win an election and destroy Trinidad than lose election and get Trinidad to be able to excel them. We have to start telling the people the truth. When did we invent something since the steel man? Are we still talking steel man? Why are we talking something else? I mean, yes, we have our creative skills. We prove it in the past. You know, even in music industry, you might get a few Californians, less than 10 who doing well.
You're not getting that, because I don't want to say you're not getting it. It is there. You're getting the people with the bright ideas, but what you're not getting is the backing or the support to make it a reality. Like in other parts of the world, North America and so on, you have a whole group of people who would invest in good ideas. And I think it's called venture capitalists, they call that.
Yeah, venture capitalists, yeah. Once you have an idea,
you come with a good idea,
they will invest in the idea.
You buy it, they will invest in it. And all of a sudden you see you end up in a company, you know, with shares and shit. Like how the iProducts and Apple company was started. There is so much companies when you
Elon Musk talking about bringing on his own phone, the Pi phone. And he said, I want to charging port, that charging once you pick up light anyway, charge. Solar power, you know? That's going to be a real innovation.
And
I almost certain if Steve Jobs was wrong, he would have done that.
Already, I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Ken, the reason you're not hearing about any new invention from us is because we don't have anybody who willing to invest in those things. The government is just talking. They're talking in the budget and talk about giving grants for this and grants for that. But when you want to do a patent of an item, there's no small amount of money, Kenneth. It's thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of to patent your idea, So just a patent your idea before you can even take it forward to get an investor involved with it.
Yeah.
You have to be a millionaire to do that in the first place. But so when you're talking about investment, and you're talking about creativity and creating opportunities and so on, and talking about this creation, you're talking about in relation to people must be more productive and get more in order to do more in order to get more.
Let me give an example. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a clear system in blind welfare which I could compare with. We had a system called commission. Yes, everybody had a little basic salary, right? You had 2 or 3 grades, you can see. But we had a system where more you work, more you earn. So, like for instance, if a basket would have sold for $100, the first thing blind welfare do is minus the value of material you took for the fortnight. Whatever remain from that, they're going to take 35 cents on the dollar and give you 65 cents. When we had that system, we had no material wastage. No customer was ever waiting for any product. So you had, everything was working, was functioning because of that system. Then we went to free. We went to get fixed price for if you make any item and free material. We started seeing garbage bag filling up at ends of the material trolley. Then we went to flat salary. And because of that system, materials started to waste, customers can't get a job. So I put it in the context of all the teachers in the system, whether they're performing or not performing, all of them getting same pay. We have it, Sweden Blind Welfare might have some welfare officers performing better than some, but they get the same pay. If we don't set up a meritocracy, what would happen? The ones who are doing well will start to do badly. And you'll see that wherever you go, you need, yes, you may have the basic salary, but there should be a structure for the best performing teachers or workplace. It must have something that like a bonus system then. When the year up, that you could measure, but people must know upfront where you measure on. It's not like something you put out of a hat. But it could be nurses, it could be anybody. It must have that structure where people who perform well must be rewarded, and those who didn't perform well must not be rewarded. And if you start to put that system in place, you don't have to talk no one-on-one.
So I agree, but are you saying then those who perform should be getting their bonus? Those who don't perform shouldn't get none.
You get the basic salary there.
Yeah, basic salary.
Yeah.
Right. So the question I want to ask then is, based on that, if you perform, it's really motivation. You're talking about, motivation factors, and using some kind of motivation factor to
is it motivation?
employee.
No, is it motivation or reward for performance?
Well, what is motivation? Motivation is getting a reward for something you do.
I don't feel so, but yeah, I more feel rewarding you.
Yeah, but what is it? What is the reward? The reward is what? Is it a kind? Is it a cash? Is it money?
It should be
is
cash.
It an item?
I mean, it don't always be cash alone, because there are some people who, yes, but if you're meeting all the expenses, the money wise, sometimes a little appreciation, something you need, because sometimes you might also get the money, but not the appreciation. So is that kind of holistic, like how Google will do it, you know?
Yeah, but recently, right? Both of us read the book The Virgin Way. That has nothing to do with sex people. The Virgin Way has to do with Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the owner, founder, and chairman, president of the Virgin Group of Companies. And the book we read, he was showing you in the book with COVID-19 and the virtual space. We are working differently now. People are doing their jobs in a different way, but we still want to govern the workplace in the old way. And we talk about history just now and the future in terms of blind welfare and the 180 years. We can't want to move forward in a new space, in a new environment, but use the old principles to go forward with it.
Okay, let me get
it doesn't work.
Let me get next week. My father was running an estate at the time. The boss man complaining 8 hours and then men doing nothing. Whole estate and in bush and all kind of things. Sorry. You tell them every day, do 40 trees and go home. Men reach on the walk all 5:30, 5 o'clock, by 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, wherever they go on, depending on what time they come. And they could have still go and do something else at the same time. So when you add up how much the country benefit in the long run, they benefit, everybody benefit, a win-win situation. So you check something in more workplace. People might just be present on the job, but what did they do? What value did they add? How this, because remember, time is a commodity you can't get back. It is not like gold and think that if you're mine, you get more gold. Time, your time, that's gone.
And the point I'm bringing about that, and you use it with your estate concept just now. People do not work a full 8 hours in a day.
No.
Most people do not do that. Most people, they work about 5 hours for the most, and the next 3 hours, they check the time, they walk around the place, check how much time they go to the washroom, they go for water, drink, check how much time they talk to the next one next door, or the friend, or they go, think about it, they go on Facebook and I have no issue with that, I have no issue you doing all after that 3 hours, My issue is, if you want to work flexi hours because of the whole virtual space now, then come out and negotiate that. Because we have a whole system where with social media, with Zoom, with WhatsApp, with cell phones.
No, but and you saw
People
the
reaching
phone
here
and you see the
much
phone system we got to
faster.
put in blind welfare. What the guy was telling you could
Yes.
be anywhere.
Yes.
Once you hook up to the internet,
Yes.
this
So people
your
could
access.
work in anytime.
Yeah.
Why not negotiate for flexible working hours and flexible vacation?
Yeah. And then some
You
people,
know what I
some people
mean?
more productive
Why
in the
we
morning, some more productive in the evening. Find what fits you then.
work when it's best suit you?
Yeah.
Look, Ken, when I was a field officer, I mean, I tell people I work the field. Don't come and tell me what field work. I work the field for years as a visually impaired person. And sometimes the best time to visit people is in the evening time.
Yeah.
And I buy people house all after 3, 4, and even play school and people want to come and talk. When you play hot in the middle of the day, anybody want to talk to you?
Nobody want to talk.
You understand what I'm saying? No. But I didn't see that at
You
8
only
to 4.
want to
I
talk.
see it as
Yeah.
exactly. I do it when is most convenient to all parties. And this is what flexi time and flexi was. Why are we negotiating 1% and 0% and whatever it is?
Nobody
Why not
negotiate
increase
production.
production
Yeah.
based on hours of work? And you might work less hours. You get more done in those less hours and you get the same pay. You're working less hours and you get the same pay. So in other words, you have more time, as you just rightly say, from the estate perspective to go and do something else. I think you earn more income somewhere else. But
Years ago, when the estate was running that kind of system, we were the top producers of cocoa, copra. We were top sit in the Caribbean.
But let me just make this point here, Kenneth. Our dilemma that we're speaking about here with this 101 and the productivity level has to do with government and state-run organizations and companies.
Yeah. And why you talk about that was private estate throughout Citrus, Mayaro, Manzanilla, Toco,
yeah,
Rio Claro. We had huge estates, I mean huge
from
a point of view.
The state should get out of business. You have always been making that point. That state should not be in business. And this is a clear example of showing you why they should not be in business. Because yeah, when you go to private sector, my wife work for organization. I ain't calling the name of the organization, I'm saying something. And minimal, she does sales for them. She has to visit 15 clients for the day, customers. And those customers not in one location, they're all over the place.
Right.
And when she go to visit them and she take the order, the organization gave her a device. She have to input the order and submit it immediately before she go to the next one. And while she's by those people, other customers from other days calling her and giving her orders too, and she'll take that.
Right.
And it's showing you, but it's private sector. And it's getting it done. In public sector, if you get them to see 6, 15, half of this place is 7 customers a day or 7 clients a day. The amount of different excuses you're going to get and reasons why, and it shouldn't be so. Because again, the state involved and they believe is government paying free money. I mean, think about it. You go with nursing sector, you go in medical sector, you go in financial sector, anything is state involved in. The industries, oil. Petrotrin is such a big, good place, and all the big exclusive Petrotrin, and they closed down.
When you hear a man working
why they closed down?
But Larry, just about 10 to 15 years ago, Petrotrin had profit sharing. People were getting 30% on profit sharing.
Never point. You had a big organization like Petrotrin and all the big experts in Petrotrin. And Petrotrin come on bus? How? All the brightest people work in Petrotrin. How come it bus?
A little side conversation. People talking about revamp Petrotrin. Do you know there is no new refinery or refinery in the world under construction at this time? All is old refineries because they see in the future. They're not the future. And I find the government that should stop fooling the future. That we're not going to open back.
No, well, I don't think the government is going to open back anything, and the government is trying to get rid of it. So somebody's going to take it and open it up.
Yeah, but nobody is doing that because no new refinery has been constructed in any part of the world.
And again, we're talking about the future. I'm talking about this increase in salary and pay. I want to use the example. I remember somebody was telling me, I don't want to say who it is.
Yeah.
They went to an interview in a project management company, right? And when they want the structure, now this person worked outside of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And they're back in Trinidad, and they went to attend it. So when I asked him, what does he want? He said, I don't want anything. He said, that makes sense. I tell all, they can't give me what I want.
Right.
He said, so what do you think about this place? He said, well, I think this is a HR company. He said, what do you mean? He said, because the HR division is the largest division. It is a project management company. The project management team should be the largest team, not the HR.
Yeah.
But
You know,
they like his comment.
There's a part of Trinidad that I do like, like if you go somewhere, right, okay, let's put in the context of the blind world, there are blind people then. Sometimes you hear we sit down, we talk and complaining, I'm going to get this done. And then people treat me nice, and this and that. I know people dropping things to be done. And then again, and I'm dying. I said, we are quick to criticize service, as in people who are blind, but also the little opportunity we get to give service, we must learn to give it good.
I agree.
I just in my office there as executive officer, and I tell people, no matter if I call for a basket come, I'm willing to talk to the customer.
Yeah. Because it's about treating people nice.
And I call back, I'll follow up on the complaint, and I'll follow up on it and call them back. I'll take down the number. You understand? Because I believe we as persons who are blind, we must not only demand that the society treats us any different, we must also treat persons. Because I remember sometimes I'll walk the street and, plenty of my friends will come up in the workshop, who step on the cane, who do this. I always had a perception wherever I go, if I put on my cane and 10 cars pass, I say the left one will stop. If somebody break my cane, I say no problem, I carry it home. Ben, my brother was shooting it for me. You know what I mean? Because those you couldn't buy a cane because you're managing your cane right through. So when I create one, it turned like a swiper. He will, tap it or hit it, whatever you just do, I can't remember, but you tap it till it gets straight from it.
Yeah.
But I never left vexed or angry, nobody.
Yeah, what's the time there?
7:34.
7 what?
7:34.
Oh, 7:34. Okay. So Ken.
So I want to say, as a Trinidad society, we must learn, in order we can't talk increasing salary in a vacuum. We must talk it in becoming an efficient society, an effective society, a society that inventing or selling things. And sometimes not only inventing, sometimes if you could sell things that people get cheaper from you than where they're getting it. Some people come to you and purchase it. I went back and checked in the war days, Churchill was able to lead England to get everybody to produce food so England wouldn't starve. And they won the war. And if you check England, Larry, that little island, compare, and they took on the world. A small nation and the impact, nearly, I am almost certain, even not 25 or 50, a large number of the world speak English.
Yeah. The impact English made on the world is
and
English.
And that was the role India took. India took the role that they taught the children English. We in Trinidad, the next topic, we in Trinidad want to tell people talk Hindi. We should be talking Spanish. Encourage every child to learn Spanish. The whole of South America and Central America next to us. We talking Hindi for, if you tell me how to learn Hindi for hobby, like how some people can learn Braille and sign language, which is good. Don't tell me you invest in that amount of resources to learn Hindi or Arabic. And no offense, but I feel if you have a choice and you have limited resources, learn Spanish.
But if we have to go back to the conversation of in salary increases, people say, oh, everything going up and we salary remain same. I agree, fixed income, that's the problem with fixed income. When you have fixed income, everything goes up in these groceries and all about, and you're
we did in school equilibrium, how things reach equilibrium. That's how the markets work.
The market forces.
Yeah, it will work its way. And what people don't understand, when things are hard, okay, I will listen to Sadhguru. What you were saying, as people become more independent and self-sufficient, they lose their family network for support because you feel you could do it on your own.
Yes.
When people start to do badly, they start to lean on each other. You understand? And you check it, but once everybody doing well, who have plenty of money, and then because you can buy anything you want to do what you want, you ain't checking nobody. But you check the society that have communal arrangement. is because everybody is dependent on each other. That is why they remain as a structured family. But soon as wealth started coming, people started drift apart. People couldn't kill us. They wouldn't call. I want my phone call to make some time to see how we're going.
Right.
So,
But,
so
and I
sometimes
wanted to
if things
make
get
a
bad in the
point.
country, it could help us to rekindle that kind of community spirit.
Ken, it has some people in this country, things will get bad and still it will in people in this country. You see, image and pride is something people are bitter pill people cannot swallow.
Yeah.
They can't swallow that pride they have and go back and say, how can I help you? Or can you help me? I need help. People
Yeah,
have so much pride and have shame, they would not do it. They rather starve. Long ago, and this is not very long ago again. In 1995, we moved to Chaguanas, and I remember that few months we moved there, things were real hard because we didn't have the family support. As you rightly said, just now Sadhguru say, when you went independent, you were doing things on your own. You no longer have the support of the family and the kinship.
Yeah.
You understand? So in 1995, when we moved to Chaguanas, things was hard. And things, somebody come on side there? Yeah. And things was hard, and my parents going and they asking for help, they asked for credit, they asked for things, food, to make sure the family survive. I remember those days, and that wasn't very long ago. 1995 to now, so much years. That's about 30, 35 years.
Yeah,
about 25 years somewhere. But the country is going through a cycle with going back to that. And I tell people, you're asking for more money, you want to increase in salary, but the money you get will have no value to buy things.
exactly. When you get the money,
Because
then the amount of money chasing goods, you'll end up back in the same position.
exactly.
You wouldn't be better off.
But better you look for value in things other than money.
Yeah.
Say, okay, is it uniform? I'll provide a uniform instead.
What about if you negotiate shorter work week? So you can get an extra, they don't call a tax, you make a yard or something. Why don't negotiate instead of 5 days work week? Why you got to do 4 days work week?
Well, I hear you talking that 4 days work week.
No, I tell you, why people negotiate that?
Well, if they done the work for 5 days, imagine you get them 4
No, but what's saying, you don't have to always be cash. The point I'm trying to make, it don't have to be only about cash. I know in some companies, people took cut and pay. Big companies, states, and when things go bad, and management want to look things rough, and and people took cut and pay for the survival of the organization or the company. I remember the steel company in Trinidad when union wanted to increase. The man pack up and leave a man and move my steel mill in Central America. If you put a piece of steel hard enough, it might fall in Trinidad. You understand my point?
But I agree, and this is what people need to understand. Like we talk about nicety and so on. I tell people, if these are my chicken in the yard, will come back. You can meet one time for the week, and what you plan to eat. My neighbor here, he tell me a day, he say, Larry, I can't remember the last time I went in the market.
Well, Larry,
planting everything.
When I live in the estate, we only buy dry goods, you know? Vegetables and meat. We had at home is either wild meat, fish, crab. We had fowl in the yard. I can't remember when you go. Our go through just one little box, you know.
But that's the thing.
And a bottle of bleach hang up on the outside on a string.
And a what?
On a string at the tie. Yeah, the tie. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
What telling you? Our go through one box.
And people were happy.
When you grocery dropping people home with the grocery, 4 people in the van carrying home the grocery in one van, you know.
No, it's true. It's saying. No, it's true.
What's the man on that?
But Raghu used to always make a joke. He say a grocery list was an easy thing. You can remember a grocery list up your head.
He's basic.
Yeah. I tell people I remember we was growing up and red bean, lentils, and black eye. Sunday meals. There was Sunday meals.
Yeah.
You buy that, you cook that one weekend is red bean, one weekend is lentil, one weekend is black eye. The whole week is dal.
Yeah.
The cheapest one you get.
Like my
The
grandparents,
entire week was
before
dal
they
and
did,
rice
it
and
was
those
only on a
dal
Sunday.
soup, dal is. No, but people want more money, everything more. Because you know why, Ken? Our image, thirst for
Yeah.
what we doing here, this live, for internet, for social media, for smart devices. That need and urge and thirst for the new lifestyles demand more money.
Well, Lar, let me check health-wise. Trinidad is one of the highest countries for diabetes, you know, the world, you know. If you take,
Because we too wealthy.
they had a snapshot of Manning when he was in 91 with he and children, and they had a snapshot with he and children in another period. And you could see the obesity or the overweight in the children. I mean, not the same children, right? The group in there.
Right. Yeah.
You could have seen it. And if you check it now, if you go and you check children, in our time, you were certain people like a family feeding you.
Can you know what this snack long time for children? It was not a salt snack or a cheese snack in the pala, no. It was whichever fruit in season.
Right.
That was this
But
snack.
we eat real fruits, man.
So
Yeah, real fruit, yeah.
I remember like all also would have been mango season.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember it was Easter
But Lar,
vacation
that is
or
how people
July,
should know when
August,
they're born long time, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how people knew how they're born long time, you know. You're either born in mango season or crop. Because it was important.
Time.
Yeah.
You're sucking sugar cane.
Yeah.
You're drinking coconut.
Mm-hmm.
The snack, you know, partner. That was a snack.
But Carlos told me, Carlos Green, the powerlifter fella, say,
yeah,
them is to run 3 football match a day. We have young people now, they run 1, they break up. He said they play 3 football matches in a day, you know, and in 90 minutes, you know.
Yeah, non-stop running.
And he said, and it's sugar cane, the sucking fruits, coconut, you know, anything they get to eat.
No way, long time again because it's snack. And I'm going back to the whole concept of obesity and image and lifestyle. People want more money because they have to go and buy some cereal. They can't eat cassava again for breakfast.
Right.
The cereal and milk, no Tanya.
Yeah.
And
we know for a fella for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you come down south, go poor fella, you know.
Poor fella, they say, okay, where's your breakfast? Yes, they get some tomatoes and saltfish with some good cassava in it.
Good cassava, with that sheet. Well, big for that soup and part, nice cut in half.
He gets
Yeah, you get lasagna,
cereal and milk.
pie.
So there's a meal or is that sure? But lifestyle again, they want the best. They want it, and I mean, I have children. I want my children to the best too. But there comes a time in life you have to have patience to get the best.
No, but you also have to be monitoring the health and let them know. Look, you have to work this thing out. You get big and fat. You get sick. You will enjoy the final thing in life. You understand? I mean, I just tell people there are some people who naturally have a certain structure. No matter what they do, that is because of gender. I understand all of that. So don't feel. I expect everybody to. Yeah, I don't feel. I expect everybody to be like a Michael Jordan and thing. You know. All I expect people to be, you know, be fit, take care of yourself, keep your pressure down, keep your sugar down. 2 things, major things, you know. Yo, I hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me, right?
Yeah, 7:46.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah, you know.
Right. Yo, what up, man? I'll disconnect my Bluetooth to see if I can get it on loudspeaker. What did happen?
Okay.
Right. So back to the increase. More money. We need more money to see. They want more money. The state saying that 2% you're talking about is $1 billion in back pay. $1 billion in back pay for the public sector.
Yeah, that just in that period, usually money change that by 2%, 202.
And then they're saying
or 303. You know what I'm
saying? And they're also saying the current expenditure monthly is about $500 million. I don't know how that math talking about, but I would say, let's see.
Okay, let me check it. Out of that, how much is the wages and salary? You check just plan it alone. All wages and salary must be 63 to 70%.
Yeah.
Moko on there.
and come down.
Yeah,
And it come down.
it used to be higher than that. It used to be in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand? Like Moko and all of that. Their wages and salary was a minority.
Because private sector, any private sector organization, their wages and salary
That would be
less than
a big
50%.
spender.
No,
Yeah.
your big spender is in investment.
Yeah.
Reinvesting.
Look, people talking more money. Look how money spending in education. And them teachers, they should get cut salaries. Children, we're not seeing the grades to compete in the world. Imagine that. I don't know, but how you can increase, how you can reward people who perform bad.
But generally, in all these sectors like that, Kenneth, if you look at the health sector,
look at
the education sector, the health sector, look at the utility sector, public utilities.
Larry, they shut down the desal plant behind water. In this, how you gonna push tourism and thing?
Well, we had more rainfall in this year so far, and we still have a dry season. Still have a problem with water.
Could go to water we dumping in the sea to take back and buy it.
I'm telling you, this place is ridiculous. That is true, living. That is how it is. But you see, the problem is, Ken, we could talk so because we read. We just go out there and look at other countries, and we read books. We read, about other places and how it is done and how it could be done. The problem is you have a group of people in this country. They don't read. They don't want to learn about
I learned one thing from Sadhguru. He say, forget this thing heaven. Let make here heaven. Let us make the air clean. Let us make sure the soil clean. Let's make sure balanced neat. Yeah. Let us make here heaven. And I said, people, God bless us, put us on a nice island with resources. We have almost anything we want. And if we manage it properly, it is 1.3 million people in this massive land space, We have enough land to give everybody one lot of land for house,
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Again, we're going back to the same thing, talk about housing, right? Look at this with you. Everybody want their own house, their own yard space, they want this.
Yeah.
Ask them how many times you have been in a certain part of your yard.
When last you walked,
when last you want your own land, But if you was in an apartment, certain parts of your apartment, you ain't going in, I don't know. I sure that's the rooms in your house can't you have going in for years.
Yeah, that's you.
In your house compared to the whole lot of land you're living on.
Yeah.
That's some rooms. It have one room in my house. I just have even going to it. I probably going to once 2 weeks.
If I was in an apartment that say have a little park, it has a swimming pool, it has go through a little bit of everything. I prefer that than having my own space,
But I see what we call gated communities now. I saw a place in Diego Martin. I don't know who it was, the horse farm, I think my father told me, but we went there. And the person built a high-rise buildings, they call condominiums, high-rise. It's not Maloney Gardens again, it's condominiums now.
Right.
And people live in these condominiums, small American style thing, small apartments and things. But in the whole, what do you call that, boy? The whole complex. They have a community pool.
Right.
They have a community grocery there.
Right.
They have a little greenery area. You can go in that area and sit if you want.
Right.
In front of every condominium tower, they have their own parking and everything. Everything structured like that is right in Diego Martin. I went there first. I went to a pool party there. I get in the people pool too.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm telling you, you can't believe right in Trinidad people living like that. But in Trinidad, the other day, I have a meeting to go to Saturday. Gabriel and Miskin, come let we do something. Let me go and do something. I find myself digging dot Saturday. And I go to my meeting 6:30, meeting start 6 o'clock. Because somebody called me and remind me of the meeting. I just ask myself, what blind man doing land and things like we really want house and land in
It is the whole point.
half of the time you
And you know,
didn't
Larry,
walk
if
around
the
the
design
yard.
that, if the design like what Steve Jobs was talking, when everybody come out of the apartment, there must be conversation or congregated meeting somebody on the way to and from. Say hello, say
Yeah,
morning.
communal. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Maloney Gardens is like that, Ken.
Uh,
When you come out your front door in your apartment, everybody come out in the same corridor.
yeah, and you say hello, say morning, say good evening.
And you say hello, good morning, you wave, you say, you know, you just
Yeah.
acknowledge somebody in his eyes meet. You know, you know that person, they accustomed seeing them going in the apartment. That's how they did it.
And Larry, it has some communities with all the taxi fare in the winter, but there's some community taxi fare never went over the school, even though they were carrying less passengers.
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
Yesterday we talking about that, you know, we talking about again increasing prices.
Mhm.
People you see that we should get increasing salary. But you know, there'll come a time when the cost of oil will go back down. So the cost of fuel will go back down. And you know the taxi fares will not go back down.
Exactly.
It do go back down. They're
Mhm.
talking about fluctuating fuel prices. If they do that in this country, it wouldn't help because when people anything that go up in prices in this country, they do ever go back
It'll
down.
come back now. And why we should be talking about fluctuating fuel price? Why the conversation can be solar like what Barbados do?
I wish the day they tell us put solar in your house and feed the grid and they will pay
Yeah.
it.
Structurally great TNTech, that's the conversation TNTech should be having.
Now then, which sector working first?
Yeah.
Water ain't working, electricity ain't working.
Why we didn't have current
Health
for
ain't
how much
working.
hours we didn't have current for nearly a whole day. Blackout.
About 13 or 14 hours, boy.
And everybody normal.
The education sector ain't working, energy sector ain't working. Which sector are working? Social development sector not working.
Nothing okay.
You know, everything that seems to be crazy. And then we want more money. We need
everything is
more
more.
money. I mean, actually, gonna know because I'm glad if I get more money too. I telling you up front.
Right.
The truth is, if you get money, you'll be happy face.
If you get it, once everybody get in, you should get two. No?
When you get more money, how long going to last?
Yeah.
What you could do with it? Or are we going to rush to the furniture stores? We rush to the hardware to
They're waiting to
extension.
snap that out of their hand, boy. You put pressure on foreign exchange, all kind of thing.
Within a few days, all the money spent out and all the business spent.
Yeah.
For newsmen might get a little boost because somebody go decide. I mean, sorry, the local newsmen and them, the local newsmen and we get the cars, the $50,000 cars sell and things. Men go and buy cheap car and things. You know?
Yeah.
But again, they didn't worth it. They didn't increase you're going to make an investment, you have to pay more to maintain it. You see money you didn't have, you're going to maintain something now with it. But again, that's again, we talk so because we read.
People talking the back with again, that done spend, you know?
Yeah, they don't count in that already. They don't know where I'm going to go in.
Yeah.
And I tell if I get back with you, I don't know where you're going to.
Is the whole point? It's gone.
Because we always want more. We always need more. That's how human beings are. We always want more and more and more and more. And we don't know when to stop. We don't know when more is enough.
When a lion eat a piece of meat or something, another thing could be passing, he's not interested in it.
Yeah.
Until he's hungry again, you know. Not humans bad.
We like a hoard.
Yeah.
You see, we got any mangoes, I was hoarding mangoes.
Yeah.
You're stuck in your fridge with mango. You can't eat all that mango, but whole year, next season come, you still have mango in your fridge. 5 minutes? Yeah, fly, but I meant rain. Yeah, rain flies. I don't know if when rain coming or rain went. I ain't sure.
Right.
Wait, how many time is Ken?
7:56.
7:56. So in the next few minutes, we are about to end the live, right? So Ken, anything else I recap on, close off it?
My main thing, if we're talking more, we talk more across the board. More production, more money, more everything. Let us set up a society for meritocracy, where people who do well must be rewarded. People who didn't do well must not be rewarded. They must know hard work must pay. Because I see it happen with people who left Trinidad and went and worked hard, and they did well. And if they work hard in Trinidad, they would do worse. So there are some countries that design on meritocracy. I mean, I just tell people America is one of the few countries you have, yes, you're gonna have state interference, but they probably have more private hospitals than any other country in the world. You know what I'm saying? They have more private universities than any part of the world. You know what I'm saying? So they have more of the private sector involvement, because going back to the Western days, they had a philosophy: you must stamp your snake and saddle your horse. They believe you must never do for somebody what you should do for yourself. That is why it is here the gun laws. While a lot of people getting shoot in malls and so on, there's a great number of persons in the United States who believe Americans must have the right to carry arms. Yes, they believe it might have circumstances, they got challenges, they will have negative, but they're not going to give up that right to carry arms. Whether it's true or false or right or wrong, I'm not here to judge, but I put in the context of a nation that is a true republic.
And can you make a point about meritocracy? And I have always seen the harder you work in this country, the perception of pattern is not true. The more hard you work, the less you get. You know, I heard a man say the other day, you stop eating for taste, I eat for survival.
Yeah.
You know, because and the same person tell me, say education is overrated.
Yeah.
And he's right. No matter how much degree you get, you got more degrees than the thermometer. Yes, if they don't want to hire you, you will not get the work.
But in Rich Dad Poor Dad book, the fellow was saying, asking the father who has a PhD, where are you going to school for? And to make money? He says, so why don't teach people money first? You know, so we teach him about maths and science. He said he will only, you see, if a man doing accounts, teach me accounts. He said, don't teach me things you're not doing. He disagreed that. He said teachers teach him calculus and he asked the teacher, you use that? No. He said, well, what are you teaching it for? But he said, when you run business, when he talked to his lawyer practicing law. When he talked to his accountant, the accountant practicing accounts. He only talking to people who practicing what they're teaching.
Right.
So he said, teach me how to make money. He said, I want you, it's simple enough. Say, all his friend father is a businessman. You know what his first lesson his friend father showed him? He pulled out a monopoly game. You know? He said, you see this? You have no land, then you buy land. Then you buy some green building. Then you put out some red building. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he said when he was at 19, 20 years, he remember when his rich dad was buying greenhouses. And now he put up one of the biggest hotels in the States. He said, put up a red building now. Yes, son?
So that is what we need to start showing our people. How to create wealth. Yeah. So can we come to the end of the session? And,
yes, so
next week, Tuesday, I think it was a nice live with the introduction of the Zoom platform.
We saw it work out.
Despite the little hiccups to the internet, but that's the best of our internet system, and problems we're paying for this, and we have to accept that because we can't do anything about it. So hopefully next rounds you will go live and use your internet and see how it works, and then we will see how things run.
Cool, all right then.
Until next time, Ken.
Yeah, later.
Keep safe. So